What's up, everybody? This is Johannes Stoner. I'm glad that you tuned in today. This is my first ever episode series, The Ultimate Sideman. All right, and it is about the life of a musician, taking you backstage, showing you how we do what we do, what it takes to get a gig, to maintain a gig, and hopefully to develop into the next level. As a musician, as an artist, sometimes you come from the side to the front. So all this I'm looking forward to share. I hope you enjoyed. And this first piece, or first group that I just played, is from Dave Kaz's old album. The song is called Perfect Stranger. But the whole show that kicked off the week was Dave Kaz, which was really unbelievable experience for me as a fan, somebody that grew up listening to Dave and a lot of smooth jazz artists, and also with my friend Corey Wong. During the pandemic, I was fortunate enough to record an album with them that's called Golden Hour, yes, and it came out this week on the 11th of June. All right, so I hooked up with Dave Kaz through a good friend of mine, Corey Wong. It is a very interesting story. If you want to check out Corey Wong's story, how he pursued Dave Kaz and managed not only to play on his cruise, but to actually make a record with him. Very interesting. So they actually decided to do a gig here on the St. Croix River. The setup went well, but after we took off about half an hour, something unexpected happened. The boat's generator went out. That meant no electricity. So that was a big shock. As a sideman, what I usually do in such occasions is observe the people that are in charge, especially the artist, and see if there's a role for me to play. Ease the situation, and I went down to the lower level to check on Dave, and to my surprise, he was pretty bummed about it because he was really looking forward for this gig. However, I felt like this gig was gonna go well and it's gonna be a great night, even though we have very limited sunlight time left. I told him it's gonna be all right, give him a hug, and he really appreciated that. And you would hear a commentary at the end of this video about what that meant to him. It's very kind of him. And sure enough, 15 minutes later, the band was on stage. Of course, except for the bass player once again.
How did you think it went?
Well, when it went, I was very, very happy because I didn't think it was gonna go.
Oh, what?
So, but a guy, a guru that I know, that I have in my life, I feel very lucky to have in my life. His name is Johannes Stoner.
Oh, no.
And he's my Buddha,
All right.
my guru. And he said, "Don't worry, it's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna work out." And he was right. So Johannes, Guru Johannes.
I get lucky again.
Thank you, Dave. Off to the next gig, the Landmark Center. North Star, great band, playing a lot of weddings and private events. And this particular gig is at the beautiful Landmark Center in St. Paul. And here's Ashley practicing the first dance. thing about this gig is you get to see nice, cool places, and it pays well, and get a lot of work, and learn a lot of songs. Here's another one that I really enjoyed. Well, if I have to pick a soundtrack for this gig, this song will be it. I Won't Let You Down. But it also tells you the quality of the band. We are playing this song for the very first time. I don't even think we went over it during rehearsal. So to play it like you've played it before and people are dancing and enjoying themselves, that's a quality band. There's some assumption that wedding bands are not all that great and they shouldn't be taken that seriously. And actually, some musicians do share that thought, uh, but I must disagree. There's a lot of great wedding bands, and if you think about the fact that wedding bands are chosen to perform on the very special day that people will remember for the rest of their lives, the first day of their union. I think that's a pretty honorable service as an entertainment that we can provide. I really enjoyed, and I will continue to give it the best I can. Yeah, I just want to put that out. Well, in the end, it all went well, as usually is the case. I remember the bride and groom continued to dance even after we finished that song. Great sign. That takes us off to the next gig, Wausau, Wisconsin. This is about 3 hours away from where I live. Very important for a gigging musician. You gotta have your transportation ready and well maintained and everything. This is a band called Blue Water Kings, and it is an app-based gig. This band has a database of several hundreds of musicians around here. So whenever there's an event, they send out this mass email, and whoever clicks on it and accepts the gig gets the gig, and you'll get the detail of the gig with the notification about how much it pays, where it is, who the band leader is going to be, and some other names. And if you accept, you get a little more details about setup times and special songs, etc. Otherwise, you can just decline it, no hassle. And once you've done the gig, you go to the app and click on your invoice, and you'll be wired the money. So without much human contact, very modern way of making music. All right, so I was lucky enough to know almost all the songs for this gig just by my experience with the previous band, North Star. So the only songs that I have to learn were just special requests, first dance, and so on. Even those I was familiar, so it was a really easy gig, fun. But I still had to kind of refresh myself with made a playlist, checked it out on the way. One of my favorite songs, "Lay Down Sally" by Eric Clapton. Oh man, I love that song. Nice, easy, good feeling song. The challenge for this gig was I actually had to drive back to Minneapolis because I have a Sunday church gig, so I didn't want to risk going to sleep in that nice hotel and wake up late or just be delayed. So I had to drive a little bit of tired after the gig. And when I got home, it was after 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. that is.
God is good to us. Hallelujah. It's the second Sunday. It is July or June 13th. I am so happy to be the worship leader today on this youth Sunday.
Well, after 3 hours of sleep, I made it to church on time. And I did what I was supposed to do. And it was a blessed Sunday. I have to admit, I did take a little nap during the sermon. But the good Lord knows what I've been through. And yeah, that was my Sunday. Except there was one more rehearsal I had to go through. My man Stokely Williams. I have a pleasure working with this amazing artist. And we're about to hit the road. So we needed to do a rehearsal. That was on my schedule. And yes, I made it to that rehearsal. But I had a nice nap before. Not the church one, but a real nap afterwards, after church. So that was it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you learned something or you enjoyed your time. Continue to support and help me grow this little situation. You have a wonderful day or night, whatever time it is, all right? This is the groove that I'm going to send you with the one I played at church, all right?
Thank you.